stories go, disturb sacred ground, there's always consequences to follow.
People that come here, they like to feel the energy.
This land, it's where 35 natives were slaughtered by the U.S. cavalry. If the spirit wants to communicate with us, there'll be an answer. Are you angry that you're here?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
My name is Christopher Garitano, and I've spent my whole life exploring the darkest mysteries on Earth. Following that passion, I made a film that helped inspire the hit series Stranger Things. Now I'm digging even deeper into our strange world. America's Wild West was an exciting place, but it also has a history of extreme violence, especially against Native Americans. Some places have seen so much bloodshed, you wonder if the negative energy lives on.
So, I'm on a mission to see if lands could be cursed.
And hopefully find the evidence to prove it. So we're here in the mountains of California, near an unusual town called Bodfish.
Walking beside the Kern River.
A rugged landscape with an ugly past.
It's close to the Keysville Massacre, where 35 natives were slaughtered by the U.S. cavalry.
By the mid-19th century, many tribes were assimilating into American culture, working on the ranches, going to church, peacefully living side by side with the settlers. But in 1863, Captain McLaughlin of the U.S. California Cavalry heard rumblings of an Indian rebellion. Though McLaughlin had no proof, he rode into the valley, captured 35 natives, executed them. Ever since, it's believed their spirits have cursed this land, tormenting the living and holding the dead in limbo. There's so many stories of hauntings over these lands, especially at Silver City Ghost Town, which is where we're headed right now.
It's a location that was comprised of many different structures taken from all over this area. They were remnants of the Old West and the California Gold Rush. Now, that place right now has a variety of ghost stories and things that have happened to people that have passed through over the years. A lot of hauntings, a lot of apparitions, a lot of people being almost attacked at times.
So I'm on my way to speak to the owner of the Silver City Ghost Town to find out more about the strange things happening on his property.
Jay, this place is fantastic. Can you tell me a little bit about the history?
You bet. This is Hot Springs Valley. The Indians called it that because everywhere they went, they had the sulfur springs, you know. And it was all really sacred for them. I know the entire valley is haunted. I can't take you 500 feet without showing you a place where somebody was buried. These hills are covered with blood, American Indian blood, massacres.
I've heard a lot of stories come out of this place. Some of these structures are haunted.
I'd say every one of them.
Really? So who do you think it's haunted by?
I think there's a number of people who are living there forever because the ghosts usually stay where they're at. I can feel it.
So it's not necessarily the natives haunting the land, it's anyone who's lived on the land since then?
Yeah. The first one that we know was Annie Sullivan's boathouse. She was a pioneer here. She was piss poor, She didn't have two dimes to run together, supposedly, but she somehow bought up every bit of property you can see in every direction almost.
Wow.
And so I think it's haunted by her. Her energy was very strong. People were scared of her. But the jail is one of the most haunted sites here. It was built probably in the 1870s after the gold rush. The location where it was saved from to bring here was Whiskey Flat, real famous town.
Wild West town, right?
Yes, absolutely insane. When I go into jail, I always tense up. My body gets really rigid, you know. Many reported being touched on the shoulder or somebody tapping on their or pulling their hair.
Really?
The church opened in 1929. Didn't last that long because of the Great Depression. So it's haunted with people that lost, you know, everything they had. And then the Palisade Berliner House has been called the sixth most haunted site in America.
What do you think happened there?
Well, there was 17 children raised by just one man, and that was Francisco. Back then, you had 17 children. You'd be lucky to make 3 of them reach the age of 18.
Is it true that people have encountered poltergeists in the house?
Right. I think it's the ghost of his children, perhaps one of his 3 wives.
Did you ever experience anything over at the Rolando house?
Absolutely. I had a lot of things. Knocking on the back door, and had witnessed bottles floating, shot glasses getting knocked back, and I went, what the hell?
Jay, I really appreciate you telling me all these stories.
You're welcome. If you need anything, let me know.
All right, thank you.
Since paranormal activity is said to be strongest after dark, it seems like the best chance of documenting Silver City's spirits is to come back at night. In the meantime, I want to get more details about the supposedly cursed lands surrounding Silver City. So I call Kathy Owen. He used to manage a trailer park just 3 miles down the road. This trailer park was arranged over native burial ground, and after years of experiencing regular hauntings, Kathy moved her family out of the state of Arizona.
So, I really want to hear what she has to say about this. Hello, Kathy. You know, I'm really interested in your story because I'm trying to find out if certain pieces of land can be cursed. I know that the park where you worked and managed, there's a lot of things that happen there.
Well, God, what do I say? It was crazy. When you go out in the park, you automatically start feeling sick to your stomach. You get headaches, sharp pains, and we had paranormal experiences from day one. You would see black shadows throughout the park, doors closing. You would even hear like footsteps on the ground that sounded like you're walking on solid ground, and my whole park was full of gravel. 10 years of management, I've lost 15 tenants that have died in that park. I used to call my whole one back row of trailers death row.
Wow. So do you think disturbing the sacred ground could have this kind of influence on people where
Absolutely.
it might just kind of send them into the worst places?
Absolutely, absolutely.
What was the most terrifying thing you experienced there?
Being body jumped.
Something literally went into your body.
Yeah. My husband was already in bed because he was sick. He was constantly sick. And I laid down on the bed. I felt spirit around me, but I couldn't even remember anything after that. He said my eyes shot back in my head. I started having seizures. My whole body was shaking. The paramedics arrived. They clocked my heart at 250 beats a minute.
Wow.
I was rushed to the hospital. As soon as they got me there, out of the ambulance, I woke up just like that and said, what am I doing here? Didn't remember anything, and I was perfectly fine.
Amazing.
It wasn't just the park. The whole area was cursed. It was the whole entire street, straight over to Jay Corley's Silver Spring Ghost House. Now, I know a lot of the buildings that are inside the ghost town have been moved from other locations and brought there. Bringing those buildings to Silver City's ghost town only intensified the hauntings that were already there on the ground. So, yeah.
And so, before I leave this conversation, do you have any advice for me before I actually go to Silver City?
Protect yourself and make sure you do it good. Because I'd hate to see you leave with an attachment. I'd hate to see you leave with any kind of illness, sickness.
And we just lost her. That was kind of ominous that it just shut down in the middle of her telling me to protect myself.
We're starting our investigation in Bodfish, California, exploring Silver City Ghost Town, built upon Native American burial ground and allegedly haunted. Tonight, we'll explore several structures that rest upon Native burial ground, try to find scientific evidence of paranormal activity.
It's a good place to set up.
My producer, Haley, is joining me on the hunt tonight.
I wonder if you're here by yourself all night, you would have a much different experience than you would, let's say, with a documentary crew.
True.
You can go to a location that might be haunted, and that ghost can attach itself to you somehow. And I think when spirits can see you as vulnerable, they might approach you more, knowing 100% you're alone. Who knows? Okay, ready?
Yep. Go ahead.
Let's go.
I'm going to use something called a REM pod this evening. It's a device that helps you detect paranormal energy and hopefully communicate with it.
Church is over here.
Some people say that because churches contain so much spent human emotion, they naturally attract ghosts. I'm eager to find out.
All right. Okay, so this is the REM pod. It generates a field around it, okay? Red means it's ready to go. So if the field is broken, the lights light up, and it indicates that something not human just entered the field generated around the device. Okay, we can let it sit here and wait, or we can ask questions like a Ouija board. Is there anything other than Haley and I in this church right now? We're not here to disturb you. So I'm asking you kindly if you can approach the red light and let us know you're here.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
Is there a crew member back there?
I don't think so.
No, that's not us.
Okay. Is there a crew member out there? Seriously, guys?
There's not, really. We're all in Video Village watching.
I don't know where I feel safe.
Are you sitting next to Haley right now?
Why do you gotta go and ask these questions?
Okay, fair enough. This is only the beginning of tonight's investigation, so I think we should move on.
I'm ready to check out some of the other buildings.
Personally, I feel that the jail cell might hold a lot of energy. Just think about all the things that have happened in there over the years and the desperation and all the energy that leaves behind. There's just something about it. So, all right, let's go. To me, this is the loneliest, most powerful feeling I've felt so far. I mean, this authentically was a jail. You know, there were shackles on the floor. People were locked down. You can see all the markings all over the place. The story goes that there was a man who was locked in here, and to try and escape, he tried to burn the place down. And in the process, died of smoke inhalation.
Seems to me like if maybe the land is cursed, doesn't want anyone to escape, even the dead.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Let's use the FLIR gun.
Okay.
The FLIR thermal imaging device measures temperature through light, usually detecting pink for warm and blue for cold. And these temperature changes can let us know when there's a presence in the room.
I'm getting something out of this.
What is it?
Oh, that's weird.
What happened?
There was a very bright glow coming from the door, more than normal. Oh, that was strange.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Holy crap.
When the light is green, it means the electromagnetic field around the device is at its most powerful frequency. Seems the man from the jail is here, so let's see what he has to say.
Do you feel like this room or this town is cursed in any way? It's probably an odd question. Are you angry that you're here? Are you locked in here? Do you want out of this jail? I'm starting to get an uncomfortable feeling in here. I need to take a break.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
The jail was very active, but I had a feeling in there. Didn't say anything when I was in there. I'm saying it now. I had a pounding headache, and I had a little bit of pain in my chest. What that means, I don't know, but that's not a normal feeling for me.
I get a sense of desperation when I'm in the jail. So I don't want to go back in there. But I do want to check out the Burlando house.
It was once owned by a man named Francisco Pancho Appalachia. And now the thing just opened by itself. The door just opened by itself. Okay, I'm gonna go inside. Considering we're disturbing your peace, would you like for us to leave?
I'm scared.
Do Native American souls still curse the lands where they were killed? And if so, are they keeping the souls of settlers from resting in peace? I'm trying to find out. As I approach the Burlando house, allegedly one of the most haunted sites in America, the door actually opened on its own. This is genuine poltergeist activity, and I wonder if it's inviting us in to communicate or it just wants to taunt us. The homeowner was believed to have lost 3 wives in this house, as well as several of his children. Could their spirits still be trapped on this cursed land? I feel a heaviness around me as we head inside. Ooh. And a feeling that we're definitely not alone.
A lot of people have reported activity in here.
Oftentimes, spirits of children are connected to poltergeist activity.
Poltergeist means a noisy ghost or active ghost. Poltergeists traditionally throw things around, you know, glasses fly off tables, doors opening and closing, things falling to the ground. If there are any spirits in the room with me, I ask you please to approach the center of this table. I have a feeling if I was by myself all night in this place, I just got a strong feeling something would happen. Whatever's here is waiting for everyone to leave or someone just to be here by themselves.
It seems like whatever entities are here just wanted to toy with us after all.
Well, what do you think, folks?
Let's go to Wormy Andy Sullivan's house.
All right, let's go.
Wormy Annie Sullivan got her nickname because she made a living running a bait stand. Annie was the matriarch of Silver City, and this house is where she lived and died.
People were scared of her. Her energy was very strong, so I think it's haunted by her.
This is our last structure of the night, and honestly, I'm really hoping to make it out of here without a negative spirit attaching itself to me.
So, let's go. You first. All right, you holding on to... Okay. All right. That's a good place to set up.
I'm going to start with the REM pod, which will light up green if any foreign energy enters the field.
Okay, so we don't mean any disrespect by being here, but I have a few questions to ask. So if there are any spirits in this room, please approach this device I have at the center of the table.
This person seems ready to talk.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you communicating with us. We've heard stories that you were attacking visitors and pushing people. I'm curious, is it Annie Sullivan? So, so it keeps happening.
I'm starting to feel like, because of the curse, the land is holding spirits here against their will.
Are you angry that we're here? Are we disturbing your peace? So I guess I'll take that as a yes, like a big yes. So considering we're disturbing your peace, would you like for us to leave? Okay, let's go. I'm not trying to take an angry spirit with me. Bye.
Silver City lived up to its reputation as a true ghost town.
I've heard some of these structures are haunted.
I'd say every one of them.
The whole area was cursed.
The evidence that we found and the activity that we picked up with our equipment was quite significant.
From the door opening by itself to the unexplained heat signature in the jail to numerous encounters with the REM pod.
Let's go.
It's clear to me many entities are active here. So the legend of Native American spirits cursing this land and keeping other souls from crossing over may be true. Now we head east to continue our investigation in Rock, West Virginia. Hundreds of Native Americans are said to be buried here in unmarked graves, haunting this land.
So we are here in the heart of West Virginia, coal mining country. Okay, we're good here.
All right.
We're about to enter the Lake Shawnee Abandoned Amusement Park. Have you ever been to a place where immediately you had a bad feeling? As stories go, disturb sacred ground. There's always consequences to follow. Go ahead. You ready?
Let's go.
I'm meeting up with Mr. Chris White, whose family owns an amusement park. Originally built to provide families joy, the amusement park began to collect a mysterious number of tragic deaths and unexplained accidents, until it finally shut down in the 90s. So my question is, does this plot of land itself carry a dark energy responsible for the repeated tragedies throughout the years?
Here we are, riding across land where Native Americans are buried. It's definitely a spooky place. So, I guess that's Mr. White. Mr. White, how's it going? I'm Chris. Nice to meet you. I have so many questions about the history of this place, but there's no record. What can you tell me?
This is Lake Shawnee Abandoned Amusement Park in West Virginia. And it was opened as an amusement park back in 1926 by Conley T. Snido. And my father worked here as a young kid. So his dream was to always buy Lake Shawnee. In 1985, he had the opportunity to buy it. And then while we was doing the bulldozing to try to expand the park, we uncovered some artifacts. And archaeologists came to Lake Shawnee and they uncovered some bodies. They estimate there's over 3,000 bodies here.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So, do you know exactly what happened back then?
Yes. So the reason why they died here was because they got the flu or pneumonia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brought to the land by settlers, the early 20th century flu epidemic has been called the greatest medical holocaust in history, with millions of lives lost.
So I read that after the amusement park opened in the 20s, there were some tragedies. In the total, I read there were 6 deaths. Is that true?
Yes.
You know, you can call it a curse. That's one way of describing it, but there's some peculiar things that happened. So I'm here to try and see if there's any way we can take some kind of scientific measure of whatever energy may have influenced the events, if at all, you know?
Right. Well, come on, and I'll show you where some of them happened. So this is the ticket booth. A few people's had paranormal experiences around it or in it. One of them was a guy that was visiting the park one day, and he come over to the ticket booth. Now, whenever he got to the ticket booth, he went to step in the back door, and he put one foot in, and about the time he put a second foot in, he went airborne backwards.
And you were here to witness this?
Yeah, I was here, I seen it. He landed on his feet, but I didn't know what happened to him. So I asked him, I said, what happened? He said, whatever's in there doesn't want me in there. Come on, I'll take you to the next spot. The swing was here back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, whenever the park was operating. So the story of the swing is that there was a little girl that was riding a swing one day. It was going around, and a soda delivery truck backed up into the path of the swing.
While the swing was operating?
While the swing was going
Wow.
around, and she hit the back of the truck and it killed her.
This is the actual swing that she was sitting in?
Yes, it is the original swing.
It is.
People that come here, what they like to do is they like to feel the energy that the swing puts off. So if you put your hand right over top of the swing, not touching the swing, you can feel wind blowing up in the center palm of your hand, a cool breeze coming up.
This is really weird. I don't know what it is, but it's not normal.
Let's see the rest of it.
All right, sounds good.
As we walk around the property, I think about the thousands still buried nearby. But pain still seems to own this place.
What are we looking at?
This was my brother's bus. He was a carny, and he would travel around with the carnivals and stuff, painting license plates. About 6 years ago, he passed away from a heart attack.
I'm sorry.
Before that, he had 26 heart attacks on the property.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did anybody see any activity?
The only thing that happens around the school bus is sometimes they say they hear either children laughing or maybe even carnival music.
Do you believe people are experiencing, disembodied spirits, like ghosts?
There's too many cases that people's brought it to my attention, so yes, I believe it's happening.
Well, Mr. White, thank you so much. I am really looking forward to coming back here at night to continue the investigation.
Okay, well, good luck, because it gets crazy here at night.
Thank you.
There's such an oppressive feeling here, even in broad daylight. I can only imagine what we'll encounter by night.
Kind of looks like you're holding a lightsaber.
I wish I had a lightsaber right now, to tell you the truth.
Tonight, I'm on a quest at the abandoned Lake Shawnee amusement park in Rock, West Virginia, where it's believed the bodies of more than 3,000 Native Americans are still buried today. After hearing about numerous freak accidents and tragedies that have plagued the property over the years, I believe there's definitely something to specific lands being cursed. So tonight, we'll measure any unexplained paranormal activity that still grips these places.
The one night that we come to do the investigation, it is pouring rain, and it's freezing outside.
Maybe angry spirits don't want us here.
What I'm hoping is that through these devices, we can connect to some of the spirits that have perished here over the years.
So this is the swing that the little girl tragically passed away on.
Yes. I want to see if I can read anything with the FLIR device.
The FLIR device can pick up on hot spots and cold spots, one telltale sign of paranormal energy.
I'm getting kind of a faint, actually better than faint reading off of the chair. So if you look here, there's my hand. Stronger heat signature because I'm a living creature. But over here on the seat is surrounded in a bright purple light.
Feel the energy that the swing puts off. You can feel a cool breeze coming up.
I know the FLIR device picks up on heat signatures, and there's not a lot of heat on this property at all. It's freezing cold right now, and it's raining. Here, let me just go over here for a second. See now, it's definitely there. If I stand back, it's cold. But what's surrounding it is showing up as much warmer. There's a bright pink surrounding it. This one over here, this is completely blue. The difference is, and it's not happening on any other swing, is this kind of glowing bright pink light surrounding this particular swing.
I'm definitely spooked out now.
Yeah. The rain's coming down really hard right now, so we have to move forward, but we had a significant reaction here. Are you okay?
Sorry, I'm spooked. I'm just like spooked.
Okay, let's go.
That was freaky.
What was it? It was like pushing against
It
you?
felt like it was like getting me out of the way.
So spirits get excited when you're afraid. Actually, let's go over to the bus.
The bus is where Mr. White's brother, Gaylord White II, suffered multiple heart attacks. Yet another victim, it seems, of this cursed land.
So let's give this REM pod a try. The hope is right now that we get some. So that light is supposed to indicate some kind of So if I put my hand here, that's what makes it react. And any lights that go off like it just did represent some kind of disturbance within the field that it's generating around it.
There's clearly some unexplained energy moving through this place. Now to see if we can communicate.
All right, this question is for the man that owned the bus, that spent so many years traveling around in it. Are you here right now? And if you are, can you please make this device blink? I've spoken to expert ghost hunters, which I am not, and they've used the same device, and they said they've been at locations for hours, sometimes days, and nothing happens. So we're here for a matter of minutes in a location that's a hotspot, and almost immediately it works. And it's noticeably warmer.
Yeah.
All right, all of the things that we know happened here, the accidents, the tragedies, after the amusement park was built, is that a result of people disrespecting this land?
Holy moly. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I could stay in here all night and do this, but I think we've had success. So I'm going to shut it down.
Hey, I need to sit down for a second. Did you feel that?
Yeah, it's breezing again.
Yeah, when we were using the device, it was noticeably warmer in here.
As soon as we stopped interacting with the spirit, I started freezing.
I have read about temperature changes during poltergeist and haunting situations.
I'm freaked out.
In my opinion, this entire investigation is a success.
We had significant energy readings from each device at Lake Shawnee.
Also, there was a physical feeling, a difference in temperature that both Haley and I noticed on the bus. Coupled with all of the stories that have collected over a couple of 100 years plus, I think we have significant evidence to support the idea that this land is cursed ground.
In this journey, I wanted to see if it was possible for the horrors of history to leave their mark on the land. So the idea was to see somehow if we could measure a curse. And I think to some degree we have. Can you lift a curse and free a place from its haunting past? I'm not sure. But what I do know is there are plenty more secrets still buried in our backyards. And I'll be back to keep digging.